Let me know if anybody needs any boost in your sound in your ears or anything like that. You good, Jack?
I'm always good, player. I'm always good,
How
player.
about you, Daphne? Can you hear everything good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Easy sports talk, built for both the avid and casual sports fan. Now, here are your hosts, Ed, Easy Smith, and Javon, J.
You're live.
And welcome to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay on this beautiful but overcast. I forgot to check the weather report, man. I normally give it out, but it's a little overcast out here today. It's still a beautiful day out here in Arizona. And once again, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Got a great show lined up for you, coming to you live today. We're back out in the field, man.
Yeah,
Back
man.
out in the field doing it.
Yeah.
We got some remotes and everything lined up over the next bunch of weeks. Courtesy of our great relationship with Cold Artisan Beverage Company and EIC. We're coming to you live today from Modern Grind out here on the west side in Avondale, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. So we have the owner, Daphne Kelly. She's going to join us here in just a second. We got our brother Hans Sachs is going to join us as well. Before we do that, this segment right here is brought to you by
Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of the Easy Sports Talk Show. One of the first to launch nitrogen-infused coffee. They offer everything from specialty coffees to a botanical infusion line of caffeine and sugar-free brewed beverages. Call Colt Artisan Beverage Company at 623-434-0939 or visit ilovecolts.com for more.
And if you want to get at us on the Easy Sports Talk hotline, you can ring us at 602-260-1060. Brother Aaron is behind the glass as always. If you want to tweet at us at the Easy Sports Talk, at Ed Smith Speaks, and at Javon Love, and that's Love with an L-U-V at the end.
Real quick, before we bring our guests on, I got to say, when your producer knows you, that's good. I typically send the rejoiners, so it's easy that you can blame me for that. So one of the links I sent to Aaron, he lets us know, hey, John, that link is a bad link, so I can't use it. But if you find something to send me something else, I said, just find something. Bully!
Well, he knows us. Aaron's been with us for quite a while. So let's jump right into our guests. We'll get into all the sports and everything after this first segment, but want to welcome Brother Hans Sachs, the CEO of Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of the Easy Sports Talk Show, along with Daphne Kelly, the owner of this great establishment out here in Modern Grind. Thank you for joining us, Daphne. First off, we're going to talk about your relationship with Colt, but tell us a little bit about your personal background and how this beautiful establishment came to be.
Yeah, awesome. Modern Grind came to be. I was a second grade teacher, and we wanted to help the youth programs more. So we started Modern Grind as a fundraising company where the kiddos would sell our packaged products that we partnered with Colt on producing, and they would get a big chunk of the profit to grow their programs. Now we've opened our first store, and we get to really expand from there, and we're going to do good things in the community.
And what was your inspiration for, the brick and mortar here? Like, because a lot of people love coffee. Everybody doesn't open their own store. So tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
I knew we could do great things. Finding the right partners would allow us to open this type of store and open the doors to providing more to the community and being a bigger influence in the schools. We do a lot with local schools, teachers, kids, all kinds of programs. Funders. Yep. Absolutely.
And then, your relationship with Colt. Obviously, you got the great man, Mr. Hans Sachs, who's been part of our family forever. I met with Hans the other day, and, I knew we were coming out for remote. First, he said, Daphne's a dynamo. So, Hans, speak on it, man.
Well, I want to give a shout out to her amazing husband and their beautiful daughter sitting just to my right. But look, Daphne will never tell her story like anybody else will, because when she first came in, she was driven, focused, hungry, passionate, and like, I don't know anything about any of this. You guys got to teach me. So she had all the passion and the grit and the desire in our company because of how we do things. We have amazing customers like Daphne all over the country, but all over the valley. She rolled up her sleeves and came in, and I want to learn it the old-fashioned way. I want to come in. I want to learn about your coffees. I want to know where they come from. She worked with our area director of sales, our VP of beverage. She got into production and just watched all this stuff going on and started very slow, in a very humble way. Like she said, she drug a bag and took a table and would set up and do these things and post and do raffles and started building her brand and said, I'm going to go place. And they, Hans, I'm writing a business plan. Can you take a look at it? Absolutely. And I just watched this whole thing take shape and take form. And it became this beautiful, this is the realization of all that hard work and that vision and a dream. And, passion with work gets results, right? You go somewhere. And we couldn't be more proud of what Daphne and her husband have done. And it's, this is a testament, and she truly does. She keeps us on a short leash, let me tell you. And she should, and all of our clients should. We got to do our part so that she can be great at her part.
Well, see, that's an amazing story, and I'm glad you spoke up for Daphne. But the thing that sticks out to me, Daphne, is you did something that wasn't in your comfort zone. A lot of people try to stay in their lane. you went from teacher. You could have done a whole bunch of things in that avenue. Talk about because I have a similar story in terms of, I was playing baseball a bunch of years, and then I wanted to make that pivot to football. It was a little scary. And so talk a little bit about what it took to maybe overcome talking yourself out of chasing that dream, because that's important to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think Tom's hit the nail on the head there with the word grit. My mom taught me from very, very young that I could do anything I want.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to learn how to do it. So I think just having that drive and that ambition to get this store open and running, and we get to provide jobs. Each barista that works here, we grow in an area they're interested in. We have one in business school. I'm constantly training her and teaching her things. We have one that wants to be get into graphics, social media, constantly letting her take the reins there. So it's just a passion and a drive for me to help grow people. And I love coffee, and this is just a really great combination for me, just bring the two together and get to grow.
There's people who think about it, there's people who talk about it, there's people who
Do it.
right? Most of them in the first two buckets.
Yeah.
Right? The special ones are the ones like the lady sitting to my left that get out and make those sacrifices. And I know what these guys, I know what they go through, early mornings, late nights, killing themselves to help their staff, just like Daphne said. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's the great thing about small business in America. And this is a beautiful reflection of what that, the ethos of what that is and how so important it is to our communities.
And so let's talk a little bit about the business itself here. So, makeup of it, meaning tell everybody about, it's a drive-through. You got the location to sit out here, and tell us a little bit about what's inside. And later on, we're going to talk about some of your specials and things like that. But tell everybody, give it your location, where we're at, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so we're right here in Avondale. Major crossroads are like Dysart and McDowell. We're just right off the I-10, straight across from Walmart. We are a small drive-through. We do have patio seating. We've got some heaters out here for the colder days, but no interior seating. So we are all about quality. So we're fast, but the quality comes first.
And interior, what do you have going on? What type of beverages?
Awesome. Okay, so we have everything you can think of. We're a coffee and health drink shop. We have Nitro Cold Brew on tap, probably the best ever.
Yes, indeed.
We do also support all of our products do come from local vendors. So we have some cactus liquor products. We have kombucha on tap. We have CBD infused Nitro Cold Brew. Goodness, any kind of latte you could ever ask for. We do smoothies. All of our health shakes are made with real fruit.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so one of the best is the Willpower. It's a peanut butter base,
Ooh.
named after
I might have to see the menu on that.
a.
She tickled my little boys.
Well, one of the most popular items we have is protein balls. We make those in house.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I do have to say my mocha to start and one of the things Jay and I would talk about, the little chocolate on the top with my mocha, that was
Our
like
little
special.
touch.
I was like, you were over there doing something. I was like, Jay, that's a little piece of chocolate was special there. And that's like a nice little feature there. So with about a minute to go, tell everybody once again how they can find you on Facebook, and the location here.
Yeah, right here, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. We are on Facebook and Instagram, Modern Grind Coffee. We do have a TikTok account. One of our girls is starting, so yeah, check us out.
And Cons, tell hey, where's everybody doing cool?
Well,
Where they go?
they are retail products, certain fries, Sprouts, soon to be a bunch of other places. But we service restaurants, coffee shops, hotels, resorts, golf courses, college universities, all across the state. So ilovecold.com, you can figure out what we're doing if you want to learn more. And we're here today to support Daphne and Modern Grind.
Oh yeah, and we got a bunch of great things to talk about later on, Daphne. Appreciate you jumping on with us to start out. And one of my best friends in the world, Annabelle Vitrio, she just sent me a comment saying, what a great interview. So you did a great job, Hans, as always. We're going to take a break here. We're going to jump into some sports, Jay and I. I know everybody appreciated him not being on this first segment. We're going to take this break, be back. Easy Sports Talk, Jay and Easy, KDUS 1060 AM, as well as Castle X, HD Channel 200.7. And since Jay isn't here, I have to do it for him. Oh, you can. Great job.
Oh.
So we'll have you back on at
Okay.
11:30, and we'll jump into specials and things like that.
Okay.
Thanks for everything, Aaron. There, that was a great segment.
Oh man.
Good, great.
You're live.
That's good stuff right there. And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Beautiful Saturday. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay. Coming to you live today from Modern Grind out on the west side in Avondale, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. If you're in the mood for great coffee or healthy drinks, coming out here, check this great establishment out. I want to give a special shout out to my man Colton Mara from EIC, coming out, part of the Colt and Easy Sports Talk family. Always supporting. Appreciate you coming out, man. This segment right here is brought to you by
Milano Music, family owned and operated for over 75 years, over 50,000 square foot showroom and repair facility, 18 instrument rental depots across the valley. Visit MilanoMusic.com, MILANO music.com, or call them at 480-827-1111.
So we got a great show, a lot of sports lined up here. Obviously, we got the Cardinals to talk about. At 10:30, we're going to have our brother Earl Burnett from Casual Sports join us. He's going to jump on. And then,
sometimes it's the nuclear meltdowns.
yes, sir. And then Money Making Bits.
Yeah,
Mr. Hughes is going to jump on with us at 11 o'clock, talk a little preview of the weekend to come here with football. So, real quick, because, I mean, there was some good and bad football over the weekend. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time on some of the other games. Give some quick feedback. One in particular we do want to talk about. But real quick, Raiders put up a fight against the Bengals. There was the inadvertent whistle. We might have to talk about that one of these days soon here in terms of how that might have affected the game. But they put up a fight. Patriots put up no fight. They did. I mean, but that's a wow, molly-whopping right there. Bills 47, Patriots 17. They actually scored on their first scored touchdowns on their first 7 drives. Buffalo did. Eagles 15, Buccaneers 31. Kind of at one point it was 31-0. Kind of didn't see it being that bad, but the end result, what can you say about that one? Steelers 21, Chiefs 42. KC rolled off 35 points after the 7-0 lead by the Steelers, and that one kind of went the way we kind of thought it would. The Steelers, they were, I won't say lucky to be in the playoffs, but they that was a success for them just getting there. The game I did want to talk about real quick before we talk Cardinals was the one, and I think I can't remember how did you pick 49ers Cowboys. Did you go Cowboys or did you go 49ers?
I think I went 49ers.
Okay, I know for a fact I went 49ers just because I thought that style of theirs. They'd be more of a puncher in this one, and Dallas more of a,
As long as you don't let Jimmy, as long as you don't rely on him too much.
Jimmy tried to give that game away.
Yeah,
He tried his best to give that game away. We do know that. He wasn't successful, though. He was actually unsuccessful in giving it away. So, in the end, it was 49ers 23, Cowboys 17. What everybody's talking about is at the end of the game, Cowboys had the ball. I think with about 30-something seconds to start out with, but they got to the about 41-yard line of the Niners with 14 seconds left. And, and I was watching the formation. I'm watching the 49ers are out there, and they literally had guys, defenders standing on the sideline to try to keep them from either completing deep on the sideline or making them do something in the middle of the field. So what the Cowboys decided to do, they tried to quarterback draw with 14 seconds left. And they, that does the slide. They put the ball on the ground. The team gets up there, center like she's ready to snap, forgetting that the officials actually have to have part in at least touching the ball and setting it before you can run the play. It's not like we get up there, put it down, we're just going to run our play. This is where we said we finished up. So then when it happens, the clock runs out. When everybody's killing your boy, head coach, what's his name? McCarthy. Time management has always been one of his problems. Where do you stand on this, Jay? Because I'm looking at this, I'm like,
it seems like I think I'm with one of those folks that say it doesn't seem like they practice that a lot in terms of what to do in those situations where you get out of the way, get the ball to the ref so the ref can do his thing. It's just the play. He probably ran 2 or 3 yards longer than he should have. I mean, it's easy to say when you're just trying to, hopefully that you're hoping that the seeds part and you're able to get it to the end zone, but you know that's not going to be the case. Then get down, give yourself an extra couple of seconds to be able to let the ref kind of get the ball so you can touch the ball so that you can then try to spike it and kill the clock. I mean, it was just they're killing McCarthy. I don't take the biggest umbrage in that. You just shouldn't have been in that position in the first place.
That's true. What I don't like is how both Dak, McCarthy, everybody wanted to blame the refs for their mistakes.
Blaming it for your If it wasn't for traffic, I wouldn't have been late to work.
Let's talk about those 14 penalties you had during the game. A lot of them were pre-snap, so you're undisciplined there. You basically let the 49ers come in and establish their game play. You didn't do anything to stop them, and in the end, you had an opportunity, and you basically dribbled down your leg and with your opportunity. Now you want to blame everybody else.
And what was interesting is the fact that you mentioned back how he responded, and so I think
with the refs throwing things to refs
all that stuff, and so then he had to come back and try to retract and walk it back a little bit of there.
That's a rough one, man. You start running your mouth like that.
Yeah, when you get upset and you start to say it's okay to bash these other folks, and then for the mistakes that you made as a team, instead of holding yourself accountable for what you did or did not do, that's the issue that I have. But in terms of the play, I mean, you could try to force it and try to do some type of Hail Mary and stuff, but if they then it's going to be why do the Hail Mary when the field is open.
What I find comical is McCarthy, in defending himself, he's like, we have 14 seconds left. We've practiced that play, and it takes 13 seconds. So I'm like, so you were planning to have 1 second potentially left, and that's if everything worked perfectly. So to me, that's like, wait a minute, that's like bad management. If you built in 1 second, and that was your excuse, to me, once again, reputation is a big thing. He's been a dude who's always been accused of having bad clock management, not really being the smartest when it comes to
He could have the next 10 games, the next 10 seasons, he could have perfect clock management, and then he has one game where he messes up and they say, he's always had clock management issues. Wait a minute, what about the recent season?
Yeah.
That's not the case. But yeah, we're sure your reputation does follow you, good, bad, or indifferent.
So in the end, they fall. They're done. Just Jerry's got to make all these decisions now. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Let's make the pivot over here to our game, because we're gonna have brother Earl on next.
You have Dan on the line. Want to talk Cardinals if you want to get him before Earl?
Okay, let's do that. Aaron, you can go ahead and patch Dan in. We'll take his call real quick. Hey Dan, we're going out to the Easy Sports Talk Outline. Dan, how you doing, man? And what's your question?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I wanted to ask you, the Cardinals season now completed, a lot of them talk about the head coach and the general manager. I wanted to get your perspective on what you think the Cardinals need to do to build an over the time when you're not able to get over it, advance the playoffs. I mean, as far as the team, what he needs to do and what kind of acquisitions they need to make in the offseason.
Great question, Dan. And we're actually going to talk about that later on. So stay tuned with us. I'm going to keep your question in the bank because that goes right along with a lot of things that we are going to discuss. In the meantime, let's go ahead and set the stage up for these Cardinals. I guess it's a success that they made the playoffs, 11-6 during the regular season. I'm not going to say they backdoored in, but they definitely weren't playing their best ball toward the end of the season. You get into the, we messed up, could have had a home game instead, coming as a 5 seed. Rams, they lose last week, so it forces a rematch within the divisions. We're talking about two teams very familiar with each other. And like you said, Jay, I'm looking forward to Brother Earl.
Man, sometimes
we might have to have Aaron ready with the button. The dump button.
Please pick up.
But the Cardinals go over to Los Angeles, and they come away with a 34-11 defeat. And let me tell you something. Everybody who didn't see the game, it wasn't even that close.
No,
it was a beat down. I called it on our Believe in the Cardinals podcast, where you can find
sportstalk.com, and you can also go to believe.com, BLEAV.com, search Believe in the Arizona Cardinals. So just search Cardinals, and you'll find it, or wherever you get your podcast. Please listen and follow.
And I called it a beatdown of epic proportions because it was. They literally went over there, and we're going to talk about this because you actually doing the podcast. You talked about they look scared. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the performance of Kyler Murray. Where do we go from here with Kingsbury? And as Dan mentioned, what do the Cardinals have to do to make sure this doesn't happen again? I'm not sure if they can with current management. We'll get into all that. But as I mentioned, we're going to have Brother Earl join us next segment. So coming up, make sure you stay tuned because, like I said, he's going to be on fire, I think. He's going to be on fire.
Like Alicia Keys.
So we're going to take this break. Appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show. KDUS 1060 AM as well as KSLX HD channel 200.7. Got us on Facebook, on the Restream, LinkedIn now too as well, YouTube, so you can catch us anywhere. We come to you live today from Modern Grind out here in Avondale 13044, West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. If you're out and about, come on, stop by and see us. In the meantime, take this break. Be back after these messages, folks.
You get
Clear.
Thanks, Aaron.
Your life.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk
Like
Show.
Amy heartbreak, like Cardinals heartbreak.
There you go.
You can thank my wife for that.
This segment right here is brought to you by
Majestic Services. Majestic Services will do all the dirty work around your home or business. Contact them at 602-614-9401. Go to majesticservices.net for your free no obligation quote today for your pressure washer, dry, that's on the school, that's sidewalks, and more. Again, Majestic Services. 602-614-9401.
Now, before we jump out to the Easy Sports Talk Hotline, I want to set the stage because I want this brother coming through hot like fire. We're going to talk about these Cardinals and that debacle, that shameful effort they put up this past weekend or Monday, I should say. And just to give you some stats, Murray was 19-34, 137 yards, no touchdowns, 2 sacks. The horrible pick 6 in the end zone to put us down 21-0. The Cardinals rushed 18 times for 61 yards in the game. Connor didn't get his first touch until almost the end of the second quarter. What I talked about last week, keys to any type of victory. And I said, look, if you're going to dress him, you need to use him. You don't get to do the touch until the end of the second quarter. Total plays, we ran 54 for 183 yards. The Rams ran 57 plays for 375 yards. Time of possession was out of whack, everything. Cardinals 0 for 9 on third down. We did absolutely nothing to put up an effort, what I would call an effort in that game. And Kingsbury and Murray and the rest of that team looked dazed and confused. And with that being said, I'm jumping out to the Easy Sports Talk Hotline. We got Brother Earl Burnett on Casual E, and I can only imagine how frustrated, because you are a ride or die. Your Cardinals, are your team. Talk about what it was like to watch that performance and compared to what you expected to what you saw, Brother Earl.
Hey, how you guys doing? Appreciate y'all having me. It's been a minute. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, man.
All right, so man.
Jeez, let him have it.
I'm watching this game, brothers, and I'm like, we got that last year. The Cardinals that played in Arizona State. Back in the days. I said, who let this damn team in the playoffs? This is not no playoff game. What the hell is this? I'm like, how can you show up to a game with so much at stake looking like that? I cannot believe it, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? But then again, coming down the stretch, this is what they were doing down the stretch every big game. They just don't know how to get up to the big game. And when you want to point blame, all day you were watching that game at the step screen at the front office. This is what happens when you put a coach in that is inexperienced and not knowing what the hell he's doing. Because you have your quarterback and your coach supposed to be on the same page, and they were on the same page. Both of them were scared as hell going into that game. Both of them. And you look at that, go back and look at the tape. Here I am when you watch Cliff Kingsbury on tape. And the paper jumping back in the day, like a blade chicken. He's like a shell shot ninja turtle. What am I supposed to do? I mean, coming out of the gate, the play caller did from the beginning. How do you want to get in that game and establish that running game? Got Connor in the game, and he gets touched the ball to the second quarter.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm like, how the hell are you coming with the game and knowing that Connor's going to give you some stability to try to at least set up something? And when you come into a game, you have to set up your pass, your play action pass. He put Murray under the center on the second play and play action to throw down the field. He didn't even set anything up. You didn't fool anybody. I understand he was so scared calling that game. You could see it. And his quarterback played the exact same way. I was like, oh, you got to be serious. So, brother, this comes down to this is not the coach for the Cardinals. This is not what it comes down to. I'm going to ask you this. If you go into a college, if you're going in to learn whatever field you're going into, and the teacher is just as doing at it as you are, how the hell are you going to learn these things?
Man, okay, casually. So let me just try to put another log on the fire. So 5 wins, 8 wins, 11 wins. I mean, he's progressive, right? Question mark?
Yeah, but they're progressive, but they're progressing together. But you have to have somebody with knowledge that knows how to get you to the next level.
Right.
I mean, an experienced coach would have come into that game and at least had do not look like a professional team.
And I want to throw something out here, Earl, because we did the podcast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it was, and one of the things that he hinted on, he was like, "Man, they look scared," and I wanted to kind of correct that because that's great terminology if you're looking at it from the outside in. What I saw was a team that was not prepared for the speed and aggressiveness of what the playoffs bring. I preach about it all the time. There's different levels of an NFL season. The preseason, dudes just don't want to get hurt. Guys are out there some are trying to win a job. Others are just trying to make sure they get through that so they can get to the second, the real part of the season. The regular season, the notch gets turned up. And I remember my first experience going from training camp, and I was like, wow, this is fast. Then I got to regular season, like, oh my God. When I got to my first postseason experience, which was my Super Bowl run, you talk about it's a level that you just can't even fathom. And what I'm really concerned about, obviously Kingsbury was inexperienced because he's never been there, but the fact that he did not have those guys, including himself, ready for that next level, it was more. That's why I use the term dazed and confused, because it was more like they got there and they did not understand this is now playoffs. This isn't like regular season football. And that the thing for me is, how long are you going to wait for him to get the experience to know that when you get to that level, that was, to me, was just the most disappointing part. They weren't prepared for that game.
They were not prepared for that game at all. That's on the coach. You can't.
Absolutely.
It's not the coach. It's not the coach's fault. It's the coach's issue to motivate the players to go out and do his job. I can't say that that's all his fault, but there are certain things a coach has to do to get a team prepared to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give you one thing. I'm gonna give you the Cardinals season in a nutshell. The new coach, the new college coach is getting a little bit better. He's building his wheels. They come out 7-1, 10-2, and they looking pretty good. And they season turn with A.J. Green to turn around and get that ball. They season turn when Hop goes down. It's not Murray going down. When Hopkins went down, that's when the season turned, because that comfort level of him saying, hey, we got the guys that are dogs and go back into a game like that and stand up to the Rams. They were intimidated by the Rams.
Absolutely.
They were intimidated from the tip-off. From the
open whistle.
They were intimidated coming into that game. The Rams, look at that tape. Watch the Rams flying around talking crap to them. That's why the guy stepped over Buda Baker and doing all that climbing around. And nobody did anything. They just stood around like, okay. They were afraid. They were intimidated by the Rams because they did not have all of their weapons. And a coach is going to prepare a team without where they don't have, and you're going to just put the guys in and make them believe that system works. The system broke. It did not work. Guys did not buy it. Anything that guy was there. But I'm going to give you one more number. A player like Kyler Murray, in a high #1 draft pick, he needs a coach that will kick him in the ass. He does not have that. Does not have that at all. That coach is too passive. He doesn't know how to break down the discipline, and that's why you got to undisciplined team. And this is his plateau. He has plateaued. He's done the exact same thing he's done in college to his plateau point. He is not going to get any better. It's going to be exactly the same stuff. It's time to cut the tie. It was time to cut the tie this year. This last year should be his last year.
Okay. So saying that, then we have Casual E from Casual Sports Radio Network, KSRNAZ.com. So let me ask you this: so you're advocating to bring in somebody new in terms of head coach. So are you like a head coach with an offensive background, head coach with defensive background? What would be your ideal coach to bring in? A disciplinarian, as you said, somebody that is trying to kick Tyler in the behind, so to speak. What would that person look like?
That person looks like Jim Harbaugh. Look at what Jim Harbaugh did with Kaepernick. Brand new quarterback, took that team to a freaking Super Bowl. It's all about not hitting Tyler behind cliff. It's about showing him, hey, look at that honor they're giving like he's not studying tape.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
How do you not get your quarterback studying tape on a team that you play? That's not going to come here and do the exact same thing they did to you before when you beat them back in week 4. I mean, a coach like Harbaugh will not only kick him in the but he's going to give him the tools he needs to be a better quarterback and to be a better leader and to be a better player. We'll follow him. And everybody follows the structure of that coach. That's what he's doing. Leading men, not boys. So you don't come into a NFL atmosphere with boys and technique. You got to come in with something on that level.
See, Earl, it's almost like you were reading our run sheet because so many of the things that you're talking about are the things that, he's hitting everything right on the head. And one of my questions to you, and Jay will attest to this. I mean, I think Kyler Murray has all the talent in the world, but I even questioned last week whether he had that desire to be the greatest, meaning, okay, all this time everybody's been telling how great he is, right? So according to him, he has nothing to work on because he's the best, or he's the best high school player to ever play in Texas. He goes to Oklahoma, he does this, So he's been being told his entire life how great he is. Now there are things that he needs to work on. Do you think he has it in him to be that dude that goes and sits with a quarterback guru over the offseason and works on coming out from under center and doing some of these different things? Do you think he has that in him?
You think, what, brother? In the beginning, I was thinking, no, he doesn't. But then I started to see that game, replacing that game through the action, turn around and be a blessing in disguise. Because Kyler Murray has been the most arrogant and lead I've seen in a long time at quarterback. And most quarterbacks, they got that much talent, they believe they're the best thing since sliced bread. And he needed that humble pie. He got to be the humble pie. Sure. He's not going to ever forget. But let's take it, like you just said, all his life he's been successful, and he's thinking that success in the past is going to ride him through life no matter what. He's going to always excel over whatever he needs to excel over without putting in those same work. You just think his talent is that good. And this is the NFL. It's not, it couldn't just be telling us, oh, yeah, it couldn't be doing any favors. Oh, he's going to play the best game of his life. There's no pressure on your quarterback like that come out of the game. So what it's going to play his first playoff game. But Kyler has been so arrogant over the last years, thinking he's so good and doesn't need to do anything like that. He has to learn. He needs to go to the next level by learning. And getting in that playbook, getting in there, doing all those things. So, yeah, I think he has it in to do it. I just don't think that they have the coaching staff there to get into that next level.
And I'm glad you got brought that article. I'm gonna have to look at it because I didn't know he wasn't. If you're a quarterback, you're not looking at tape.
Plays a lot.
So
you can't play. I know y'all got a short period of time. But here's the thing: Kyler has not learned. He's been here 3 years already. We talked about six plateaus. Kyler has plateaus inside.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He cannot play this position with the size he's at because
2 minutes.
He played as quarterback to be in the playoffs.
All right.
Literally coming into a playoff.
I got a quick question for you. We only got about a minute and a half left, but you brought that up. On my run sheet, I have a question. Could he be that dude that maybe this is too tough for him or he wants to go do something else? Baseball's always in his back pocket. Could you see him pulling one of those?
I hope not, but it never know. It could be there, man. It could be there, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like the guy kind of thinks it's going to come, and you see he does not want to take that big hit. He does not want to get hurt. Self-preservation first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He is not going to take that hit. If he would think something to a playoff game, let it all out, let it hang. I think he rushed 6 freaking yards, and you're the most dangerous weapon on the field. And I'm telling you, the teammates are going to start wondering, hey, put it all out there for us. Okay, what the hell we put it all out there for him for? He may not be the guy because they play quarterback. Seems like a little bit of a glorified Tyrod Taylor at that.
Okay, but see, that's why we wanted Brother Earl on. Hey, Brother Earl, we're going to have to do this again. And, man, we can't thank you enough for jumping on with us, but we missed you, man, and hope everything is good. And, how can everybody continue to follow you? What you got going on?
All right, the moment, man, just continue to go to CasualSportsRadioNetwork.com and Facebook, social media, the whole thing, CasualSports.com.
Got you, Brother Earl.
And that's Casual with the K-A-U-A-L. But
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate y'all, man. With you guys, and y'all keep doing y'all thing, and y'all getting bigger and bigger and better. I appreciate it.
You got it, brother. I love you, man. You take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, man.
And that's why we brought Brother Earl on right there. That's bringing it out. That's coming in. So we're going to take this. What we're going to do is take this break, and then when we come back, we're going to continue on because I got a couple more questions for you regarding Cardinals and Kyler Murray. But thank you, Brother Earl. Take this break. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, folks. Appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show. KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD channel 221.7. Be back after these messages, folks. Bringing it like it's hot, bro.
Clear.
Thanks, sir. Yeah, I knew he fired up. I knew he was gonna be fired up.
You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Hope you are enjoying your cloudy but beautiful, soon to be 64th day out here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. This segment right here is brought to you by
So appropriate. Casual Sports Radio Network. KSR Radio is your destination for all the latest updates and in-depth coverage of your Arizona sports teams, including all things Arizona Cardinals from the Bird Gang fan base. Visit casualsports.com. That's K. That's casual with the K, and sports with the Z.com for future articles, great podcasts such as the Repurposing of the Easy Sports Talk Show and the Believing Those Articles podcast, and music programs like Microphone Masters, Disposable Arts, and more.
And this will be a real short segment. We actually extended the one with Earl. We want to remind everybody we are out on the road today, back on our remote grind. We're over at Modern Grind in Avondale, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. And it's really easy, man. You get off on Dysart, take a right. You take your first right on West Rancho Santa Fe, and just come on back right across the street from the Walmart. Can't miss it.
Avondale Plaza, come on up, get yourself the products that they have, the coffee products.
You know, and I gotta confess, I'm already on my second mocha here. I mean, normally I cut it off, but it was so good, I had to go ahead and give me another.
I know it's a short segment, but seriously, when it comes to supporting small businesses, I mean, please support local small businesses because there's so much that goes into these businesses.
Absolutely.
But also because these are your neighbors, these are the people that are right around the corner from you. These are the people that are in your communities. They're trying to do a good thing for you. So support them, share a word, those types of things. So support small business.
That is a great point, Jay. And I actually was thinking about that earlier. You know, everybody piles into Starbucks and different places like that. You know, the big conglomerates. And you look at a place like this right here, Modern Grind. If you're in the area, I mean, you need to be supporting this.
Yes.
I mean, and that's really one of those things. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about that earlier about the small businesses, especially during this time of COVID and different uncertainties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, let's stop putting money in the fat cat's pockets and, like I said, support
But
these
the
great.
and the folks that are near you, it's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay. You can make these billionaires, multi-billionaires. Let's make these small business owners 100,000 million.
There you go. So we only got a few minutes in this segment. We're going to bring Mitchell on to start the top of the hour, talk about the games over the weekend. But I wanted to ask you real quick because, you know, Earl kind of, he lit the fire. I mean, he was on it. My question to you is, and obviously some of the glamour is off of Kyler Murray, right? He just finished year 3. Year 4 is when they're usually talking about that big extension. So now you're talking about ripping up his rookie contract and giving him these loads and loads of money. How dangerous might that be? I mean, you know, other teams, you look at some of the young quarterbacks out there, they gave Josh, look at the money that the Bills gave Josh Allen, you know, almost 40 million a year, whatever. Soon what's going to happen is you're going to have to start paying Kyler. It means less money in the kitty for everybody else. This performance, does it make you a little less inclined to open up the pocketbook quick on him?
It does, but it's one of the, if you're not going to, let's say if you're thinking about not keeping him past whatever
I don't think they're thinking that, but yeah.
I mean,
he's not Baker Mayfield.
As long as that, you're going to have to pay him. You might have to pay even more. But yeah, the way in which they're doing Baker Mayfield, but it's, we saw some of the things that you can do, but we saw some of the other things.
Yeah.
Think about if they had extended him before this most recent
exactly,
season, where they would have probably been ready to make that decision. So I think what Earl really mentioned when he mentioned about getting a Harbaugh type, more disciplinarian, somebody who's going to be, even when you think of it, not in this way, but like for example, Bruce Arians will tell Tom Brady,
he'll call him out.
He sucked today, man, blah blah blah. But the type of coach that will have that honesty. But it's one thing to tell me you suck, but tell me how I can get better. Tell me how I can adjust those things to be able to take that next step up in my evolution.
And that was a great point by Earl because, you know, it's not just, like I said, Kyler, he thinks very highly of himself. Sometimes you do have to be knocked down a peg, and I do think that it's going to take somebody coming in here and kind of not necessarily ripping them a new one, but look, Kyler, this is how we do things. And this is how you do things moving forward, or else.
One of the things that, with the way technology is these days, you can, if somebody's not in their playbook or studying, you can, in terms of the time, you can be able to look at that you can look at that data in real time and see how somebody is.
Right. I mean, I got to read that article because for me, that is mind blowing. It's one thing to be a tight end, and I had certain things I had to know. As a quarterback, you need to know everything twice over. which means your study habits have to be
1
that
minute.
much more intense. And to find out that he was kind of like, no big deal, might lead me to believe, hey, there's a little more, like I said, discipline or whatever that needs to be going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this break here at the top of the hour. And then we're going to have Mitch join us, and we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming games for this weekend, including his Titans. He was real excited when I reached out to him because I wanted to have him on, have Mitch on in a bit. But he really wants to talk about his Titans, and I'm looking forward to hearing them. And he actually sent me a text last night with some questions. We'll see if we get those in as well. So we're going to take this break. Appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Jay, Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD Channel 200.7, Facebook, Restream, LinkedIn. Coming to you live today from Modern Grind over in Avondale. Take this break. Be back after these messages, folks.
Are you kidding?
Clear.
Thanks, Aaron. And for this one, Aaron.
Mitch called in, so he's all set.
Okay, thank you, sir. You want to extend this one today, or no? We don't have to. We can just go regular with this one.
man's mine. Whenever, however you want it.
There you go. Hey, hour 2 of the Easy Sports Talk Show. Kicking it live out here at Modern Grind in Avondale, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard.
Yeah, man.
Basically right off of the one with the I-10 and Dicer.
Yep.
Take a right, another right, and right across from the Walmart. You'll see us right here.
Avondale Plaza.
There you go. This segment right here is brought to you by
Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of the Easy Sports Talk Show. One of the first to launch nitrogen-infused coffee. They offer everything from specialty coffees to a botanical infusion line of caffeine and sugar-free brewed beverages. Call Colt Artisan Beverage Company at 623-434-0939 or visit ilovecolt.com for more information.
So we're going to jump right out to the Easy Sports Talk hotline. We got one of our favorite people in the world, Mr. Mitchell Hughes. Used to be our producer on the show before he decided to go worldwide on us and get out there and do some traveling and working as well. So first off, Mitch, appreciate you taking some time. Well, I should say money-making Mitch.
Money-making Mitch.
Appreciate you taking some time to jump on with us. Tell everybody where you are and what you're doing right now.
So a little while ago, I was in Maine, working as a money taker at Acadia. Now I'm in Pineville, Oregon, which is Dead Center, Oregon. I'm a park ranger for the Bureau of Land Management.
Park Ranger. Appreciate it. There you go. That's titles right there. So first off, we Mitch, appreciate you jumping on with us. And the reason you're a big Titans man. When we used to produce with us, we knew that.
Yep.
And we always keep in touch. And I love your, the way you will send me texts with different questions and stuff like that. I wanted to do something real quick with the 4 games this weekend. We'll do a quick round of picking the games, the first 3, and then we're going to double back to Titans because I know that's your meat, your meat and potatoes right there. So right off the bat, let's talk about the first game or the second game today, 49ers Packers. And we just do this real quick in terms of picking.
Yep.
Who you got in that one, Mitch?
I got Packers, but I wouldn't be surprised if 49ers beat them.
I got 49ers, so I think it's going to be if they're able to stick to their running game and make Jimmy G non-existent.
I got Packers because that man over there on the other side. There's 2 things. There's Aaron Rodgers. There go that man again. Mama, there go that man again. And then you can always count on Jimmy to give you 1 or 2. And it's gonna be cold out there. Jimmy, I'm just expecting him to do something stupid. So I got Packers in that one. Rams Buccaneers tomorrow, first game. I think this is going to be a great one. I'll give my run on this one first, then I will throw it to you, Mitch. I can't bet against Tom Brady, even though I liked what I saw in the Rams this past week when they beat up on us. I still can't go against Tom Brady. I got him in that one. In a close one. What about you, Mitch?
I can't decide. I'm going to go the Buccaneers, but not for the Brady. I'm going to go because I don't trust Stafford, and Todd Bowles is going to defensively key in on him.
I think Rams. I'm going to go Rams. What is it? Tom Brady, a couple offensive linemen are missing. You got one of his bigger, obviously we know that Antonio Brown's.
It could make him uncomfortable, yeah. All right.
They took it to him last time they played.
Yeah. Bills Chiefs. This one could be either a shootout or, this might be a 70-71 game for all we know. You go ahead first on this one, Jay.
Bills. This might be the Bills' year. And then, of course, when the Chiefs lose, everybody will say that. What's wrong with Pat Mahomes?
How about you, Mitch?
I'm going to go Bills also, and I hate it going against Mahomes.
Since you both went against him, I got Mahomes' back in this one. Yeah. I think Andy Reid is the better coach in terms of.
Does it hurt you?
It hurts me to say that. Oh, bro, it hurts me to say that.
Look at your eyes.
Pain. That I have to, And there go Andy winning another one. Doggone it. For anybody who doesn't know, Andy cut me when I was with the Eagles back in '99. I still hold a grudge. But okay, let's get to the chunky meat on this bone here. Man. Bengals and Titans kick it off at 2:30 out here today, so 4:30 Eastern. First off, tell everybody about your Titans back on. Why you love them so much, Mitch?
The very first game I watched was the Music City Miracle. The very first Super Bowl I watched was them losing on the left line. Stuck with them ever since.
Okay. So let's ask you this.
Go ahead. Do you feel that you guys are being disrespected? I hear a lot of people saying that just really not even giving them much airtime at all. Just and then the Titans, whatever.
They're not getting the love of a number 1 seed. They are the actual number 1 seed. Yeah.
You mentioned that the other day, Ed, and I said, They are.
Yeah.
How do you feel that you're being given your due credit right now, or do you even care?
Honestly, I think if somehow AJ Brown and Derrick Henry were healthy all year and they somehow had the same record, they would be loved more. But they're so confusing and nobody can analyze them because the most injured team of all time. If you analyze that at the end of the day, I think it's confusion. I don't think it's disrespect. Mainly, I think it's they don't know what they're talking about and they don't know how to do it.
Well, you bring up a great point too, because you think about what they accomplished, Mitch, with being because I had AJ Brown on one of my fantasy football teams. You're talking about in and out, in and out. I mean, every week it was like he's on the injury report, and then he's not playing, and that whole team between him and then obviously Derrick Henry went down, and my man from Atlanta, Julio Jones. You're talking about. I mean, so for me, it's even more impressive, and some people will look at their record in their division, obviously, because they were beating up on Jacksonville. And you play who you play, but does that make it even more impressive to you, Mitch? That hey, all those injuries and everything they went through, they still are the number one seed.
Yeah,
I didn't understand that.
When you think of the schedule, yeah, they beat up the Jaguars, but Colts are one game away in the playoffs. Also, they beat the 49ers. I think, if I remember right, they beat 75% of the playoff teams, somewhere in that range.
Right.
Like, it's more impressive that they weren't healthy for that, but I still don't know how to analyze them.
Yeah. So let's jump into the game here. This is a tricky one because with the Cincinnati Bengals, I would say they were probably the most overachieving team, one of the most overachieving teams in the NFL. But impressively, I mean, they got a second-year quarterback coming off injury. This is a game. Obviously, they haven't played the Raiders last week. That wasn't too big of a task, Jay, with your Raiders. But they are in the second round of the play. They are in the second round of the playoffs, and this team, the Bengals, have nothing to lose. Or I mean, I think let's put it this way: if you overachieve, now you're playing with house money to a certain degree. You're going to the number one seed. These dudes might be as loose as they possibly could be because, hey, nobody even expected us to be here. And does that scare you a little bit, Mitch?
The only thing that scares me is Hendrickson on the defensive line and Ryan Tannehill's ability to not throw the ball when he's about to get sacked. That is what scares me about Cincinnati right now, is Hendrickson coming back. I thought he was out for sure with the concussion, and now I'm a little worried.
So with Henry coming back, obviously he's been out for most of the season. Are you expecting him to just turn around and just give him the ball as they normally would, or give him what's on the line, meaning win or go home?
I think they're going to go and bring him out first. They're going to give him some snaps, figure out how he feels. But Henry also has to realize there's Henry life with Foreman behind him.
Right.
If he does not do well, or if it's going to feel like maybe he's not really back like they thought they were, I think Foreman can also get the job done. They might give it to him.
And is Henry? Is he obviously? I think he's ahead of schedule with that broken foot. How surprised are you? Well, it doesn't surprise me because it is the playoffs. But if he goes out there and looks healthy, I mean, I think he brings. I mean, he's like a battering ram for me.
Well, they know but they've gotten to this point even without.
Even without him, yeah.
So I mean, if nothing else, they just said, "All right, well, hey, go. Let me just step aside, man. We're trying to win this thing." Well, I'm Derrick Henry. Yeah, sit your Derrick Henry behind the bench for a minute and let us just win this game.
All right, Mitch, you got to give us a full breakdown of how you see this game going. I want to hear your final score, et cetera, et cetera. Give it to us.
All right. So how I see this going is that the defense for the Titans is very confusing to quarterbacks, who's probably win. They had safety come up and say
2 minutes.
While middle linebacker covers tight end, and then quarterback comes back to safety, and the quarterback has no idea what to do. I think their whole defensive plan is going to go and confuse Joe Burrow. Mike Vrabel has never lost a game after having 8 or more days off. And then with AJ Brown, they're 10-1. I really think Titans end up winning this one. I think Joe Burrow gets confused. There are a couple of interceptions. I think the game will be, let's say, 31-14.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, he's got got a beat down on his. So how you watching the game? We only got about a minute left. Mitch, how are you watching your games? I know you're gonna have your popcorn ready and everything like that. How you watching?
Oh, I'm making buffalo wings right now. I'm gonna order a pizza. I got some tequila ready to go. I'm gonna lay down in the basement, just watching the game on the big screen TV.
I heard that, man.
I love it, man. Hey, you got to make sure Mitch, and I saw Mitch a few months ago when he came out. When we get a chance, man, you make it back out here. Hope to see you again. But in the meantime, give a love to the family. You enjoy your game, and we should be talking to you hopefully in the next week or so, especially if they keep moving forward, all right?
All right, sounds good. Hopefully I'm on the air next week.
You be good, man. You be
Money
good.
making Mitch. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, that's Mitch is a good dude, man.
Very.
So, hey, we're gonna take this break. We're gonna talk a little Suns real quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk a lot of basketball. You know, football's kind of front and center right now. We'll get into the Suns, talk a little bit about them, and then we're gonna have Daphne join us again to wrap the show up in a little bit. So, hope you're having a great Saturday so far, folks. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM. Give it to him, Jay.
Real good.
Clear.
Thanks, Eric.
KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Appreciate you hanging out with us on overcast for beautiful Saturday morning, soon to be afternoon out here, wherever you might be listening to us or watching us. If you're on Facebook, Ustream, LinkedIn, etc., etc. This segment right here is brought to you by
True Narrative Media. True Narrative Media understands in today's world the visual aspect of media is extremely effective in growing your business and expanding your brand awareness. True Narrative Media specializes in telling your unique story, providing a wide range of video services for companies and businesses of all sizes. For more information, call 623-335-0735 or visit truenarrativemedia.com.
And I want to talk to Daphne when she comes out for the next segment. I'm looking here at the business hours. They open up early here. They get it in 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Saturday. Open at 6 on Sundays, and then they go all the way through the day, 9 and 10 at night. So that's some long days, but they're getting it in. Coffee is the morning drink. So you can everybody getting up and getting their juice. They're putting that oil in the lamp before they start their long day.
Yeah, I didn't know about the oil in the lamp. My grandmother used to have one. She never used it.
Oh yeah, I think I actually said that to Hans the other day. I was sitting down with him. I was telling him not to burn, because a lot of people burn it at both ends. I was telling him you got to make sure you keep the oil lit in the lamp, so you got some reserve there. So hey, before we obviously basketball is not necessarily, it's in its mid-season almost. All-Star game coming soon. I normally don't pay attention to the regular season until we get closer to the end of it. But these Suns are making me perk up a little bit, man. I'll be honest with you. 35-9 right now. First in the West. And as I said, look, not the East. It's the West. First in the West. Have a 3-game lead on the Warriors right now, who are kind of trying to figure themselves out a little bit. For a while, they were going back and forth. We now got a 3-game lead, and that's not a huge cushion, but at this stage of the game, of the season, as we're not in the first week, we're not in the first month. We're here deep into it.
If it was in the first week, I'd have a lot more optimism for my team.
This is a short segment, so we might not get into it. But no, if we can, we're going to talk about your boys. Everybody knows your language, man. We're going to talk about them. But the Suns just finished off a 5-game roadie. And came away with 5 victories.
Say it again.
5-game roadie, come back with 5 victories, and not against, the toughest town in the world as far as getting the last couple against Pistons and Spurs, but that Mavericks game on Thursday, I actually tuned into that one, and that one was good. That was back and forth. We were actually down for a bit, came back. And what I liked about the Suns so far this year, they seem like one of the most consistent teams in the league in terms of their offense and defense. Rarely, I haven't seen a whole lot of off nights for them in terms of giving up 120 or 130 or anything like that. They've been battling, bro. And to win that game, especially the 5th, because a lot of times you get to the last game, you're like, you can see home is right around the corner. And as you
get your foot off the gas a little bit because you're thinking, I'm looking forward to sleeping in my bed.
And you get a little satisfied because we got the first 4. Man, let's go ahead and finish this one out. They actually balled and got that victory in Dallas. And it was a good one. Like I said, I ended up watching the game. They went up, winning 109 to 101.
Also, what's impressive to me is that Pistons victory, when you're playing teams that are, the Pistons, as they stand right now, they're 11 and 34.
Yeah.
So it's whatever, man. So you let your guard down, and you don't bring your A game, and then they can beat you. And that could be the difference when we talk about with some of these games in the NFL, where if you don't get that number 1 seed, if you get that number 2, if you're not able to at home, it's because you had those letdowns.
Cardinals versus Detroit.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then I want to bring this up too. Remember, do you remember the 1-3 start? They were 1-3 at one point. We were like, oh, here we go with the hangover. Maybe they might be. Man, 1-3 to 35-9 is pretty doggone impressive. Yeah, that is really impressive. So, and 17-5 at home, 18-4 on the road. So for Sean, it doesn't matter where we play. We can go in the arena, or if you come to our place,
That Raptors game that they played, I think it was the first game of the trip. It was an empty arena.
And that had to be awkward because obviously everybody's back to full arenas. Then you go to Canada. And you got nobody in the stands except for the Raptor sore.
Yeah.
So that could have been a little awkward, but like I said, they've been playing really well. And here's the thing: as football fades away, we're obviously getting toward the end of it. Baseball's going to take, or basketball's going to take a front row seat for us. And I just mentioned baseball, and maybe that's we'll talk about that quickly before we get Daphne on the next segment. But I'm really impressed with the obviously not the Lakers have done. The Suns have done tonight. They have the Pacers coming in. That should be a good game, and we'll see where they go from that.
Now you want since they're at home now. Again, they're little mini tests along the way.
Yeah.
We're home. Good. Let's just relax just a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. Or do they continue to assert their dominance?
I think they do their thing. I think they're going to do their thing. Real quick, let's talk about those Lakers real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right now sitting at 23-23. They beat up on who they beat last night. They beat the Magic. So they're on the road, beat the Magic 116-105. But they are currently 23-23. And I'm not going to say the wheels seem like they're falling off, but they're real wobbly. The other night, they lost to the Pacers, and this is after that. They were up 15 at one point. They ended up losing the game. But the big thing was they sat Russell Westbrook for the last 4+ minutes of that game, 4 minutes of the game. And I heard for all the articles I was reading, he was quite upset about that, running his mouth and talking in the stand on the bench and stuff like that. And then he did no post-game press. Is Russell Westbrook, is that bomb that's about to explode? And, I mean, for me, that's not a dude you want unhappy on your bench or on the team.
He's not the type of guy you say, hey, just let it slide, Russ. No, I'm not letting nothing slide. This mix of veterans, I just wasn't excited about it from the beginning.
Yeah, it's an old team, bro.
But it's just so many. I'm the man. Okay, some people are willing to, like Carmelo, is willing to say, okay, I used to be the man. I don't need that anymore. I'm good. But Russ thinks that he can still jack up these threes and have all these terrible shooting nights. I mean, he rebounded a bit last night.
Let me ask you a question, though, Jay. It was on like, if you went out with somebody in your early days and everybody was telling you, man, you don't want to mess with that. She cheated on you in a minute. And then you, man, I got this on you. And then you find out she's cheating on you. It's like, what'd you expect? I mean, with Russ, it's like, what do you expect? He is what he is and always will be. Are you expecting him to come over and all of a sudden be like a true point guard where he's going to distribute? And, I mean,
have you got a good network of people that you know?
Yeah.
If you don't, please don't say any names because I don't want you to get in trouble. But not all your partners you want to work with.
No,
right? So
absolutely.
You say, man, we can have great conversations. All those things. I know I can count on you if I need you. I would want to work with you.
No,
and that's Russ. That's Russ in that sense. Like, man, you are dynamic. You go until the final buzzer, all that stuff. Your motor doesn't stop. Yes, you want me to be on your team? Nah, man. But I'm just saying, you keep doing your thing over there, and I'll keep cheering for you. And that's what Russell Westbrook.
Let me ask you a question, because from all reports, it was LeBron who wanted Russ.
Yeah. That's why we have the team that we have.
So all this heat that Vogel's getting, I mean, because he's taking fire right now. It's almost like every game could be his last game, according to media, right? Okay, so he gets fired. No fingers get pointed at LeBron. I mean, he seems like Teflon Don right now.
What do you always say? You always say
sports earth, bro.
The flank steak, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So what LeBron did was he went out and said, you know what? I'm going to give you all these subpar products, with subpar ingredients. And I want you to make me the meal that a chef would make. And if you don't, it's on you, because I gave you the ingredients. Well, man, you gave me salt and pepper when I needed some marinade. I need the better quality of meat, all that stuff. You got what you got. Make it work.
Make it work, yeah.
Friday. But that's not enough.
Make it work. So, I mean, he seems like, should be some fingers pointing at him. I know he's having a great season, but he helped construct this team. Yet Vogel's going to be the one who goes down in the end.
Yeah.
And, I mean, once again, when
it's
all –
when the culture, when you let a GM, let a coach, and let the players play.
1 minute.
I mean, when you look at where they've been, where the Suns are now, just to kind of bring it back to the Suns, the GM is GMing, the coach is coaching, and Booker and Chris Paul are not trying to be GMs.
Yeah.
They just do what they do. Now, you might be able to make suggestions, but man,
real quick, you guys are teetering. Doesn't look like you're going to turn this around. You could be in the playoff to get in the play in to get in the playoffs. That does not bode well for you, especially if your reward would be playing the top one or two seed. It could be an early exit for your like
20
or
the
Golden State. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take this break. We're gonna have Daphne join us in a minute here. And my buddy Paul, he said you can't make filet mignon taste like spam taste like filet mignon. Take a break. Be back after these messages, folks.
Cooks, are you kidding?
I don't cook. I order. I chef. You kidding me? I chef. I cook.
Sports Show dives into Arizona
recognize.
NAIA and NCAA sports. Catch it Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. on KGUS AM 1060.
B3 Cryo Wellness Center is a health optimization clinic specializing in cutting-edge therapy for pain and inflammation, performance and recovery,
Come on, sit down, man.
and aesthetics. Services include cryotherapy, biomedical hormones, and peptide therapy. Easy sports talking where you can come in and try a 3-minute cryotherapy session. Find out how your body can thrive in minus 175 degrees or treat your skin to a rejuvenating cryofacial. Here's a couple of the services provided by the incredible staff at E3 Cryo. For more information, visit e3cryo.com. Call them at 602-899-CRYO. That's 602-899-2796. Or stop by their Phoenix location at 13615 North 35th Avenue, Suite number 2, Phoenix, Arizona. And be sure to tell the friendly staff, Ed and Jay from the Easy Sports Talk sent you.
Easy Sports Talk would like to congratulate Milano Music as they celebrate 75 years of business. Since 1946, the Milano family has provided every aspect related to the music industry to customers across the valley. From new instruments repaired to your current one, lessons, sheet music, rentals, and more, you will find.
We're going to talk about all this. And one of my questions, I'm going to find out what smoothie I should
facility.
sample.
Tell people what you're going to ask them before you ask them.
I'm just telling you, I like people to be prepared, man. I like you. You like to fly by the seat of your pants.
Preparation.
Thank you. To me and Dad, you right here where you sit.
I'm there to answer. That's what it is. I'm there to answer.
No, you know, smoothies are my thing. I've actually been thinking about getting some fruits and stuff to make my own.
Again,
But
congratulations.
Now you don't have to.
now I don't have to.
Here's
See?
to the next 75 years.
Imagine Schools of
So real quick
Arizona
before we
is now
bring back
hiring
on, we're
bus
going to
drivers.
give an
So
update
many
on
campuses
MLB
across the
and
valley,
this
there are
lockout
plenty of
right now.
great
I'm going to jump right in and finish
opportunities
everything
available.
up.
When you join Imagine
Baseball is
Schools,
one of
you
the things we
receive
have
paid
not talked
training,
about
paid
since.
time off, great
When was the last
benefits,
time we talked about
401k
baseball?
program with a starting salary of
that was in December, I think.
$17.50 an hour and up. To apply
That was
or for
in-
more
and
And we might not be talking about it
contact
anytime
Frank
soon if they don't
Sturpey
get out of this
at
lockout.
frank.sturpey@imagineschools.org. That's frank.spirpe@imagineschools.org. Or call him at
Never recognize the love and true. Step a man with no compromise. Can make me believe a man with two eyes.
You're live.
Let that play for a second right here. Okay, and welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Before I let you jump in with us, Daphne, I just want to let you know something. That piece of music right now, that's my man's right there.
All right, I like
That's
it.
Jay right there. I love when he plays this stuff. That's one of my favorite jams right there. My partner getting it down. We actually put that one in there for the show. This segment right here is brought to you by
E3 Cryo. The goal at E3 Cryo and Wellness Center is to enlighten and empower the community in better understanding the human body's of self-healing capabilities. Some of the amazing benefits of their cutting-edge technologies include pain management, improved joint function, immune support, sleep improvement, and so much more. So for more information, visit E3 Cryo. That's E3Cryo.com. Or call them at 602-899-2796. Or just go in and stop by their Phoenix location at 13615 North 35th Avenue, Suite number 2 in Phoenix.
And if you've been following the show, we are out live today on the west side over at Modern Grind in Avondale, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. Get off the 101, I keep saying 101, get off the 10, come toward the east. Is it east?
Come
south.
Yes.
Take a right on.
North off of the I-10, and then you're going to turn right. It's right across the street from that Walmart, the big little Walmart.
Yes, sir. And we're going to have Daphne Kelly. She's here sitting with us. We're going to have her join us in a second. We wanted to real quick give an update for anybody have conversations. Baseball is right around the corner. So we're talking about what's supposed to be. Within the next few weeks, supposedly spring training is going to be going on and players are going to be running around out there. But right now they are currently in that thing called the lockout. And they had a meeting a few weeks ago, nowhere near close in terms of two sides agreeing, meaning the owners and the NFL or MLB Players Association. They are very far apart. They're supposed to meet on Monday and have a counter offer from the players. So we'll have more of an update next week in terms of what is either stalled or if they've gotten any closer. But spring training, man, and we're right in the heart of it.
It's really going to impact the Valley if they don't have something worked out for them, because people plan there, even with COVID and all that stuff, but it was opening up last year. People were here in the Valley, they were doing their thing and around a bit. So it impacts businesses locally for sure. There's the tourism, just small mom and pops like we're here now.
And one of the things we're gonna double back with you, Daphne, after they get everything settled, is because I want to find out what kind of impact it has on your business here, because we've got several teams out here in the Valley.
Indians, we got in terms of what we Peoria,
Cleveland Reds out here.
Across the Valley.
So we'll get to that. But right now, baseball is still in the standstill. We'll monitor what they come about Monday, and then we'll see if we're on track for spring training and everything to open up. There's going to be some type of delay. So once again, we have the owner of this great establishment, Modern Grind, sitting with us. Daphne, we'll have you on to wrap things up with us a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed the show too. You mentioned while you're sitting over there, we have fun, and that's what me and Jay and I, properly speaking. That's how Jay and I do it. We like to have fun, and and I think you see that. And like I said, it's been great to have you sit with us. Your husband Brian over there. We've had brother Hans and Colton out with us. But let's talk a little bit about some of the things you have going on here at Modern Grind. Let's talk about some of the deals and specials and feature some of your products.
Yeah, we absolutely have something for everyone here. We've got the health side and the coffee side. Monday, we launch our Valentine's menu inspired by our baristas.
Ooh.
So they create the recipes, and I give them free reign, and then I make that final say. So
tell us about the product. Who are your baristas? They actually draw it up and come up with some different recipes and present them to you, and you give them the check yes or no, or do you do samples to taste? And
we sample them. I let them all chime in on what they want. And
what date is that? Jay and I could actually be over here to help.
Yeah, right. We'll be working on our St. Patty's Day menu real soon. We'll bring you back.
Man, yes. You're sitting out front with a cup. Just you don't even have to rinse it out. Just fill it up.
Right. We did just launch our immune booster shots. Those are elderberry shots and apple cider vinegar shots. So anybody feeling under the weather or just wanting to boost your immunity, you get a little to-go cup shot. as you drive through and just helps you out.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're offering all weekend 4 for $12.
Okay. And how do you come up? Is that something that's packaged, or you guys create that yourself?
We
as
make the
well?
recipe in house.
Wow,
Yeah, we get
that's
our elderberry
impressive.
from a local company as well, and yeah, we source nearly everything locally. So
Wow, that's impressive. I like that. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do within the community as well, because that's one thing about our show. We really enjoy supporting, and Jay and I were talking, you were off mic with us, but we were talking about how people should support the local businesses. You know, the heck with all your big Starbucks and all that kind of stuff. Come to a Modern Grind, you know, and tell us about how you in turn get back into the community specifically.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. Support local businesses. We source nearly all of our products locally, starting with Colt, our main supplier for all of our coffee and tea beverages. And then we work with Abby's Bakery right down the road from us. She supplies our baked goods. We work with other local bakers, Cactus Liquor, all local suppliers. That was really important to me to help grow our community. Then we host car shows, fundraising events, all kinds of things we host on site. And we come out, we've gone off to the police station, done fundraisers there for fallen officers, things like that. So anything we can do to be involved in the community and support the local environment around here.
So when it comes to being a small business owner, what is one of the biggest what's one of the biggest challenges that you've seen, like COVID aside?
Okay.
In terms of the most rewarding.
I think one of the biggest challenges for me is just kind of learning the whole process. I'm not just a barista, I'm an accountant and a bookkeeper and the scheduler and the manager and
the expert, all that stuff is all you. Yeah.
One of the most absolute rewarding things is when I see the crew members just being incredibly successful in their role and then growing in other ways that we didn't really expect them to. Most awesome thing that Modern Grind got to do was December 2nd at our 1-year anniversary, we got to pay a teacher student loans. And that was my dream of opening this business, was to get back to teachers, and we got to pay the local teacher's student loan payment and help them out in the month of December right before Christmas. So it was super rewarding for me.
And nobody does, well, most people do nothing by themselves. They need support, especially at home. Let's give your husband Brian a little shout. Talk about how he contributes, and then give a little shout to your baby girl there as well.
Right, and I do also want to say Colt went in on that with us too, and they helped boost that donation that we gave to that teacher as well. So it got even bigger. So it's nothing like involved in the community. But my husband has gone above and beyond supporting my dream to just astronomical lengths. He is down here all the time, supporting, helping, fixing, supplying, doing all the things that are needed. And then our daughter, of course, is just in the midst. She thinks she's the up and coming barista. You'll see her serving drinks at the window once in a while, and she likes to be the boss.
How old is she?
She's 4.
4, and her name again? Kyla. Thank you so much, Kyla. And let's talk about your logo, because I was looking at your website. I know it's a great logo, but there's a story behind it. Tell us about the logo.
Yeah, so I'm a farm girl. I'm from a small town in Washington State, and just a country girl. And I met our designer through Colt, and every time I met with him, he thought I was looking for something real country, and he asked me, show me some designs that you want for your buildings. And I wanted like really modern, sleek looking stuff. And so he took a good day and a half, and my husband and I were at dinner. We were sitting at Olive Garden, actually. And Taylor sent me this graphic of the logo, and it is like a cattle brand. It's got the M and the backward G. And he sent it, and he said, inspired by your countryside, but we've got the modern side of it in there. And I was done. That's it. That's all we needed. I loved it.
Yeah, when you see something you like or love, it, like I said, there's no explanation needed. It
2 minutes.
It hits you. That really does fit the brand. And now when you see something after somebody explains it to you. Yeah. Now I see the cattle. I see where it kind of inspired. That's really cool. So with about a minute and a half to go, tell everybody how they can follow you. Once again, we'll tell everybody about the address, et cetera, and consider yourself part of the Easy Sports Talk family moving forward from here too. But tell everybody all about how they can, continue to support Modern Grind.
Yeah, well, check out our website, moderngrindcoffee.com. We are right out here, Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard, right across from Walmart. We're on Facebook, Instagram, under Modern Grind Coffee. So yeah, check us out. Any of those spots.
And we're going to continue to support you. We can't thank you enough for having us out. And just as we get to the end of the show, the sun wants to come out.
And it's
1 minute.
Yeah. So it's like, so we want to thank you so much for having us out there.
Thank you.
And thank you for the, real quick, what is the smoothie I should try?
Oh, you got to try the Mountain Climber.
Mountain Climber.
Spinach, blueberries, all the good stuff.
Wow. Got some sweetness to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That vanilla protein.
Sweet.
We use a pharmaceutical grade protein here. It's high quality good stuff.
That's what I need, a little pharmaceutical. Hey, we're going to take this break. It's been a great show, man. We've got a lot of fun, as always. So take this break. Be back to wrap things up. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show. KDUS 1060 AM, as well as KSLX, HD Channel 21.7, Facebook, Restream. Got us on the LinkedIn now, the YouTube. You can catch it there. Make sure you go to easysportstalk.com.
Yep.
Check out the Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast. We won't be doing that much anymore. But
I got an idea for next week.
Okay, we'll be back after these messages, folks. Wrap things up.
Are you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Killed it.
Yay! I felt
your lives.
And welcome back. Final segment of the Easy Sports Talk Show, and it has been a good and fun one, Jay. Love, we get out and about. It's been safe being in the home studio for a bit, but this is cool, man. It's good to be back on the road.
Man.
Just to let everybody know, next week we will be out in Scottsdale at the Buzz Eatery and Treats, and that's at 15215 North Kierland Boulevard, Suite 190 in Scottsdale, 85254. So make sure you're out and about. You listen to us right now. You're in the Scottsdale area next week. We'll be at the Buzz Eatery and Treats, and we'll remind you of that through the week. But definitely stop out and see us if you have some time. So once again, want to thank Daphne Kelly, her husband Brian, for having us out here at Modern Grind. Hope you will come and support this great establishment, local establishment here in Avondale, 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. And you can also go to moderngrindcoffee.com for more information, location, menu, everything they do, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure you support them here. I want to make sure we thank all of the people that help us make this show do what it do. First, thanks to Brother Earl from the Casual Sports Network. Yeah, he was on fire today. I was glad to have him on. Earl Burnett stopped through. Mitch, Moneymaker Mitch, stopped through. Gave us a call in, and Dan, as always, gave us a call. And I hope I answered Dan's question. We got so caught up in running. I think that they should make a change. Yeah. We'll continue on that. We'll have some time. But then want to thank Brother Hans Schatz and Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of the Easy Sports Talk Show. Want to thank Colton Mayer from EIC Agency, Daphne Kelly here at Modern Grind, Mike Milano and his family at Milano Music, Coach D.L.E. Show and the Varsity Sports Show. I'm actually going to be reaching out to Coach because what we're going to do is he's going to actually come out and join us on some of our remotes as we're back out leading into our show. So it'll be fun to see Coach again. Majestic Services, let Majestic Services come out and do your dirty work. Casual Sports Network, Brother Mark Beaver with True Narrative Media, Frank Sturpey and the Imagine Schools family of Arizona, Miss Tina Smith at E3 Cryo and Wellness Center, and I've been getting my cryo in, compression, et cetera, et cetera. On the 5th of February, we're looking to have another remote there, work on some details, but we should be over there at E3 Cryo. And then I want to thank Aaron behind the glass. Man, you do a great job. You have no idea how much we appreciate you, Aaron. And, every week it's a pleasure working with you. So with that being said, real quick, every week it seems like we're doing the RIPs. We also had a couple of interesting and great kind of characters here this past week. And one of them, Meatloaf. Here's the thing. When you have a nickname or a name, and then somebody will mention your surname or given name, Marvin Lee a day, and somebody be like, yeah, who's that? Right. When you're known by a moniker or a Meatloaf, he passed away this week at 74. And I was talking to you earlier before the show. I remember Meatloaf not so much for his music, but his role in Fight Club. And I know that's one of the smallest things he's ever done in his life. Right. It was just like the first thing that came to my mind was, Meatloaf. I remember how good he was in the movie Fight Club, even though it was a small role, right? Right. And he had some great songs and everything like that. But we lost Meatloaf at the age of 74. Then Louis Anderson, great comedian, same thing. The first thing came to my mind was Louis Anderson, not his comedy. I was like, man, he was so great in Coming to America. It was such a small part. Yeah. But so anything come to mind with those two that you think of?
Well, Meatloaf is a great singer.
Yeah.
Great singer. So that was, but I know exactly what you mean. It was, I think of his singing and just how it sounds so operatic.
Yeah.
Operatic when he sang. And the same thing with Louis Anderson. He was a decent comedian. I thought he was kind of funny, but what I liked was that role in Coming to America is the
first thing that popped in my mind. So we got a few minutes left to go on the show.
I do want to say this week I had kind of along that same theme. Unfortunately, my wife's grandmother passed away this week, and so the matriarch of our family, but 102 years old.
God bless you.
102 years old, so lived a long life, and so definitely wanted to say rest in peace to her.
And I remember, it's funny, I never met her, but I remember it was when she was celebrating her 100th birthday. I remember you guys talking about celebrating that. I was like, wow, 100 years old. Yeah. And it's a blessing, but still, you lose somebody, I don't care what age they are,
Yeah.
it still hurts to know you'll never be able to
Yeah.
see them or talk to them again.
Right.
So my condolences go to you and Nika especially, and the boys, the rest of the family, because I know that's a huge loss. So God rest her soul. So with just a couple minutes or a few minutes to go left, man, who's got to go on to finish out the weekend?
We get some miles in today. I don't think I didn't quite fuel myself well enough to get the intended goal today, but I'm going to get some trail miles in. Nice overcast day, so that's what I'm looking for, and then maybe catch the second game. Maybe the first one I probably won't catch, but the second one I'll catch.
You know it's recorded.
Yeah,
You just not into it.
maybe.
Not that into it. I got a meeting to run to after this. I got to be sporty. I put extensions on it too. I don't want to miss anything just in case it goes into overtime or anything like that.
Because I got to stop at home and drop the stuff off, and then maybe I'll record it.
You do know the first thing I'm doing right after we're done with the show, though, right?
What's that?
That'd be a smoothie.
Yeah. Indeed.
But yeah, no, my finish my day, is going to be some quick meeting and then football and just relaxing the rest of the weekend.
Okay.
And it's been it's been a good week, but I always like to finish them after the show with a little peace and quiet. So don't be calling me on my phone or nothing like that, or stopping by or
If you stop by Ed's house, he will be in his house.
Be prepared.
Let's
you know
believe
that. Let's believe. Yeah.
Let's believe that.
That's the attire.
For those who are new to the show, I'll never forget one time we were recording. We recorded a podcast. We were
doing them in the
we were doing it still right at your house at that point in time before we started doing them virtually. And so I forgot something at his house, and I swear it was 5 minutes. It wasn't even 5 minutes. And I went and I turned around and I knocked on the door, and Ed comes down in his boxers. As soon as I left the house, as if he said, "I want no clothes off me." So you gotta know, you gotta expect it. Boxers, and that's what's up.
That's it. Hey, Aaron, what you got to finish the weekend, man? How you doing? What you got up to?
Just going to continue studying for school, and then probably going to do some reading, and then watch some football.
What are you finishing up studying? What do you got going?
Well, I'm currently in the beginning of my 2 years at ASU, so I'm in sports journalism.
Okay. And you've been doing some different articles and everything for a lot of different. We're gonna actually have to turn people onto your stuff, man, because you do some great writing.
Yeah. I if there's sometimes just from the people I meet at the radio station, they need help writing some stuff, so I usually help them out. But yeah, usually it's just kind of all around the board of who I help out here.
There you go. All right, Jay, what's your favorite eating, I guess, during the, because Mitch gave us his menu. Yeah. What do you eat for your sports entertainment?
Man, I'm good with, give me some wings.
You like wings?
Yeah, some buffalo wings or something along those lines. I'm good with that because I'll just nibble on them. Then as long as I have an adult beverage with initials IP and A. I'm good.
Okay, yeah. I'm the same. I don't like going too fancy when it comes to my sports watching eating.
I don't think so. You probably I marinated this for so long. I brined it.
Well, I'm doing the roast tomorrow. I'm doing the slow cooking the roast tomorrow. I already got that.
I'm coming by your house. And it's always you're the guy that has to prepare. Yeah, I'll put it in there. But before I prepare it, what I do is I marinate it for about 30 minutes, sometimes 32 if it's right on the clock. So 35 is a little bit too long.
Well, I don't know if I ever told you, my grandfather, who I'm named after, I'm the third, my grandfather, Edward Sr., he was a chef and baker.
Okay.
So, and then my mom's side of the family all steeped in the South, so I got that portion of it. Mom's one of the best cooks in the world. So for me, like I said, cooking is love, man. Yeah. Cooking is love, and I love to get down with it. So probably a little too much sometimes, as far but
man, I've tasted your cooking. You are excellent. That's real.
Well, you always make fun of me because even like when I brew my coffee and stuff like that,
I got to get a little bit of. Oh no, it don't taste fine. I need to put a little bit of more.
Well, no, I put a little cinnamon. I put my cinnamon sticks in there. I'll
massage the cinnamon, and then I make sure that I put it outside to let the sun hit it. A little bit of love from the sun, and then I massage it a little more. Then I put it in. You got to put it in slow. Because if you put it in too fast, you mess it up.
Sometimes I think you think I'm making stuff up. I'm like, nah, man.
You're making it up at all. I believe everything you say. I've been around you too long. I believe.
Oh boy! So once again, man, great show. I had the outstanding time being out here with Daphne and Brian and Colton's came out, brother Hans. It's been so much fun. And we look forward to doing this again next week. We'll be over there in Scottsdale, as I mentioned. Let me find that. We're going to be at the Buzz Eatery and Treats, 15215 North Carolina Boulevard, Suite 190 in Scottsdale. So come on and hang out with us. We hope you enjoyed the show and hope you have a great finish to the weekend. Enjoy the football and whatever else sports you're watching. We'll be back next week. There you go. Speak on it. So until next week, hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back same bat time next weekend, same bat station. Appreciate Aaron. Hope everybody has a good weekend. You've been listening to us on KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD channel 200.7, Facebook, Restream, everywhere you can find us. Be back next week, folks. Until then, be easy out there. Thanks, Aaron.
You guys are clear. Good show. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, man.